Right. I came ready to pick a fight today. If you have been following me on this channel, you know that I notoriously do not read romance. And this has given me a bit of a reputation of being a grumpy old man. Which I totally am, but that's beside the point. So I will put it to you, ladies and gentlemen of the reading jury, that a romance novel is not the same thing as a love story. In fact, I will even say that some of the best love stories are not even romance novels. So, no more brightly colored covers, no more endless tropes. I'm claiming the love story back. Now, as always, I will be linking all of the books that I talked about down below in the description, so you can do your own research. Right, and I'm not pulling any punches on this one. The first book that I'm going to pitch to you is not just a Booker Prize winner, but a Nobel Prize winner as well. I'm talking of the masterfully written The Remains of the Day by Kazuo Ishiguro. Now in this book we meet our butler, Stevens, and he has been working all of his life for a Mr. Darlington. Now, when the grand estate of Mr. Darlington is bought by an American, Mr. Faraday, and his new employer hears that Mr. Stevens never had a vacation in his life, he tells his butler to just go out and enjoy himself. And as Mr. Stevens takes this motoring journey through the English countryside, he starts to reflect on his life, reflect on his professional capacity, and on the others that he met. Now, the further he gets away from the estate, the more regrets he decides having. There is his almost professional love, his loyalty to Mr. Darlington, that slowly starts to crumble away as he starts to realize that perhaps his professional love was a bit misplaced and that his former employer wasn't the great lord he thought he was. Now, as this professional love starts to decay, regrets of other missed loves and heartbreaks start to enter his mind. Especially the one with Miss Kenton. Miss Kenton, a former housemaid whom he always kept a very good professional relationship with. But there was always more. There was always this slumbering ember of a possible love connection between the two that they decided, especially he decided, not to kindle. At the end of his journey, he suddenly realizes that he has given up all of his hopes and all of his chances of love and happiness just to pursue a immaculate professional account. And this book gets it. This book gets that feeling of sadness, of losing out on a possible beautiful love connection with someone just because you made the right or wrong decisions. This book is all about regret, about heartbreak, about giving up on your hopes and dreams and giving up on love itself. It is a beautiful book. It is also made into a great film with Anthony Hopkins, and it is my first proof, my first non-romance novel that is absolutely a love story. The Remains of the Day by Kazuo Ishiguro. Then let's pitch a classic. A dark and steamy gothic novel about love and revenge, and one that stirred quite a bit of scandal in its day. I could have gone with Jane Austen, I could have gone with Dickens, but no. I decided to go with Wuthering Heights by Emily Brönte. This book is frighteningly claustrophobic. It is not just about the romance or relationship or revenge tension between Heathcliff and Catherine. No, this is a book about loving someone from another social class. This is a book about gender equality. This is a book with sexual tension and frustration. It is everything Victorians hated, but secretly loved. It is the ultimate revenge plot. It is about marrying one woman to make another woman jealous just because she turned you away when you were poor and down in the gutter. This book doesn't talk about the beauty of love. No, it is dark, it is twisted, it is about revenge, it is about getting your way, and it is absolutely delicious. It is a female gothic classic, it inspired a Kate Bush song we all know, and it is a book everyone should read at least once. If you think that dark romance is a contemporary thing, well, think again. Wuthering Heights, Emily Brönte, absolute classic. And yes, why not let's do another gothic romance novel. A novel in which the heroine, the main character, the narrator, isn't even important enough to get a name. No. This is not about her. This is all about the deceived wife, Rebecca. Rebecca by Daphne de Maurier is a story about a young girl who marries an older widower, but finds that when she moves to his estate that she is overshadowed by the memory and the presence of his deceased wife, Rebecca. She feels overwhelmed, she feels inferior because she thinks that her new husband, Mr. De Winter, still loves his first wife. He still loves Rebecca. And everywhere she goes in this house, there are memories of Rebecca. Especially the housekeeper makes sure that she will never forget that she's only the second one, the one that came after the great one. She asks herself the question, does he even love me? And the more she tries to be like Rebecca, the more she thinks that he doesn't love her anymore. It is a book about obsession, about envy, being jealous, and about identity. Love and anxiety go hand in hand with each other in this one. But no, it doesn't stop just there, because is this a romance novel? It is so much more. It is, as it was called originally, romantic suspense. It is a strange mix between dark and twisted romance on one side, but also psychological thriller and even a mystery book. It focuses on relationships in the first place, on the toxicity that love can bring. Love is not all about puppies and hearts and cute little rose petals. No, it is much darker and I absolutely love it. Rebecca by Daphne de Maurier. I mean, if you haven't read it, what are you doing with your life? Right, let's tone it down a bit again. Let's get away from the classics for now and do something contemporary. Let's talk TJ Klune. Let's talk Under the Whispering Door. Under the Whispering Door is this magical realism novel set in our modern times. It is about a grumpy man who has sacrificed everything in his life just to make sure that he was professionally very successful. Divorced from his wife because their marriage didn't really work out in the end, devoid of friends and happiness, he one day dies. Now when his spirit is not just ready yet to pass beyond that great door in the sky, he ends up in a little cozy tea shop, which you can call purgatory if you wish, where he meets the new and sometimes quirky inhabitants of this tea shop. Now the longer he stays in this cute little tea shop, the more changes. He starts to realize the things that he missed out on. He starts to realize what it is to have friends, to be part of a little family even. And he starts to realize where he went wrong when it concerns love. As he becomes whole again, he starts to get in touch again with his own emotions and in the end might even find love. Under the Whispering Door is a beautiful contemporary novel with a magical realism twist. It is cozy, it is heartwarming, it is about all kinds of love, from the love for friends and family to a more pure romantic love to even self-love, and I absolutely love it. So if you got a bit scared with those dark and gothic romance novels, then by all means, let's tone it down and let's go for Under the Whispering Door by TJ Klune, which is an absolutely adorable love story. Now another novel, another quest for great love, less cozy, less adorable, but absolutely very interesting, is The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Now I know, ladies and gentlemen of the reading jury, you will say, Bart, this brings you very, very dangerously into modern romance novel settings, but I disagree. Evelyn Hugo, our main character, our film diva, had 7 husbands. And each of these relationships is very different. In fact, this book showcases almost every kind of relationship, every kind of trope, if you wish, that word, about love and romance that you can have. From a first naive, to abusive, to fake, to convenience, to true love, you name it, Evelyn Hugo had it. It might surprise you, but I absolutely love this book. Yes, it has that typical Taylor Jenkins Reid plot twist at the end, but let's not have that spoil the fun. It is a great book, it is contemporary, it is all about love and romance. What more can you ask? The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Still not convinced yet? Don't worry, I still have some heavy hitters to come. What about Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller? No, this is not just a modern retelling of the Iliad, of the whole war in Troy about Helen and Paris, and no. This book is much more than that, and it is an absolutely heartbreaking love story. I'm of course talking about the relationship between Patroclus and Achilles. Two men so tightly bonded with each other and yet so far away. It is a heartbreaking story about ambition, about wanting to shine, and by doing so, casting your shadow over those who are around you and who love you. And you don't do it on purpose. I'm absolutely convinced that Achilles loved Patroclus. I'm absolutely convinced that there would have been a wonderful future for those two. But fate's ambition decided differently. This book will destroy you just as it destroys its main characters. Yes, it is a story we know, yes, it is a story we love, but this is a very different retelling. It is so beautiful and yet so sad. Together with Circe, by the same author, this is one of the best modern retellings of old Greek myths and old Greek sagas. And in this one especially because love takes a centerpiece. Get ready to be destroyed with The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. But love can be a killer itself. Can become an obsession. It can be the reason why you buy a grand estate just to be able to look across the water and look at the lights at the other side, where the house is, where your one true love now resides. Yes, of course, I'm talking about The Great Gatsby by Scott Fitzgerald. This is the ultimate tale of love. This is the ultimate tale of obsession. This is the ultimate tale of greed and desire. This is not a book about perfect love. No. This is a book where love and desire corrupts our characters. There are many relationships that you can look at in The Great Gatsby, but of course, in the forefront, there's Gatsby and Daisy. There's of course Gatsby himself. He's a man who finds many hardships on his path to love. He has one love, and he will sacrifice everything to find his love, his life with Daisy. And in doing so, he changes. He thinks that money and wealth will be the great equalizer that will finally get him and Daisy together, but in fact it will drive them apart. And then on the other hand, there's Daisy. Yes, she claims to love Gatsby, but she also claims he's not the only man that she loves. In fact, I would go as far as to say that there is only one person Daisy truly loves, and that is herself. If there is such a thing as a great American romance novel, then this is it. But just as the American dream, that American ideal of the perfect love seems to be quite beyond the grasp of our characters. Both Gatsby and Daisy certainly do not possess the passion and the commitment to make it work, but that does not make this story any less of a romance, of a love story. Again, an absolute classic. Again, one of my favorite novels of all times. And again, a bit of a darker take on love. The Great Gatsby by Scott Fitzgerald. Go read it. And then, last but certainly not least, I present to you Love Undying. Love that is so strong that it will not only get you into trouble, but might even save you in the end. Yes, of course, I'm talking about Bram Stoker's Dracula. And yes, I hear you say, but Bart, Dracula is a horror novel, not a romantic novel. Again, I beg to differ. There are many aspects of love in this book. First there's lust. I mean, come on, let's be honest, a lot of your contemporary romance novels are about lust, especially when it has a little biting on the side. And Dracula is not any different. His relationship with Mina, with Lucy, is a very lustful one. His relationship with the three brides is one purely out of lust. There is no love lost there. He wants to possess these women. But this is not just a book about mere lust. No, this is a book about true love as well. I mean, look at Lucy. There are 3 men that absolutely love her. In the end, she chooses Arthur, but the 3 remain friends. 3 men that love Lucy so much, they are willing to fight a monster just to save her. And the same goes for Mina and Jonathan. In the end, what saves them both is their love for each other. It is a strong, pure, good love. But also Count Dracula himself is no stranger to a strong, pure love. His love is, in fact, undying. It is absolutely beautiful. In a dark, possessive, toxic and possibly creepy way. So don't come at me with your horror nonsense. This book is a book about love, about romance, about lust, about seduction, anything you would want and look for in a modern contemporary romance novel. Yes, you might have your fae, but we have our vampires. Now I want to hear from you. Are you a romance lover or a romance hater? Who is your bookish boyfriend or girlfriend? And have you read any of these books? Let me know down below in the comments and we'll talk love stories some more. That's it for me for this week. Thank you for watching. Do leave a like, do leave a comment. And if you do not know what to comment, but you want to support this video, comment a heart emoji. Because you know, love stories. In the meantime, if you need some more bookish recommendations, you can always go here.